Hey guys, Amber here. I know I'm just uploading randomly now. I'm also gonna put this same video on my other channel. I think. But I wanted to come on here because I was just thinking that I want to explain, sorry, to people why I vote the way I vote and why I believe some of the things I believe. I think there's a huge misunderstanding from people about, I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are misunderstood. I feel like a lot of Christians are misunderstood. And I just want to explain why voted for Trump. I want to give my reasons and why I still support him, and tell you also the things I disagree with Trump on. There are some things he has said that I do disagree with. So, and I will bring up two topics that are that I 100% disagree with strongly, and I'll explain why as well in this video that I disagree with those two topics so strongly. One a little stronger than the other, but they're still up there quite a bit. So first things first, I want to explain why I voted for President Trump. I voted for President Trump because I felt like we've had so many politicians in the White House, and not a one of them, Republican or Democrat, I feel like did any good for this country. I felt like we needed somebody who wasn't a politician. We needed somebody fresh. We needed somebody different. And I felt like he had a backbone because he wasn't scared to say what so many other people are scared to say. And I liked that about him, and I still do. I do not believe Trump is perfect. And I feel like a lot of other Trump supporters, they don't believe that either. But the same reasons I just gave you are the same reasons a lot of people voted for him and still support him. Because he's not a politician. He's just different. He promised he was going to build a border wall, which he did. I think it's 100% completed yet. I think that's going to take a little bit, but it's getting there. Our border is a lot more secure than it has been. We have less crossings, all of that. I agree with that. He's kept good on his promise with that. He's, for the most part, kept us out of wars. Now, you're going to say, well, the war with, Russia and Ukraine. I had been watching that closely. I'm not watching that about that anymore. I don't feel like America should intervene in that. I do think President Trump has sent some military personnel over there to try to stop Russia. And how I feel about that, Russia has to be stopped. Else they're just gonna, we can do whatever we want to, and then they're gonna come over here. So they do have to be stopped. I don't feel like, in my opinion, that he's gonna get us out into a full-blown brawl. He's trying to slow it down and stop it. before it gets that way. He can't help what Russia does with attacking, Ukraine. He can only try to send some of our military over there to kind of scare them and say, we're not going to back down. You need to stop, because these countries don't need to be thinking they can run everything and run over everybody. Ukraine did not deserve that attack at all. So I was not happy when I heard that he was sending some of our military over there. I was not. I disagreed with it as a Trump supporter. So once again, saying I don't always agree with everything he says or does, but I feel like he has his reasons. And one of those reasons I feel like he did that was to try to slow down Russia. Because if we didn't slow them down, they were going to head over here. So I feel like by him doing that, even though I disagreed with it, he could have prevented us from being attacked. That's just my opinion. So I didn't fully agree with that, no. Even though I feel like that prevented America from being attacked by Russia. It doesn't mean I 100% agree with it. So I do not always agree with everything President Trump does or says, even though I'm pro-Trump. That's a lot of Democrats believe that Trump supporters just take everything he says for gold, and some do, but not all. And I'm one of them. I don't take everything he says for gold, even though I fully 100% support him. Voted for him 3 times. So there's that. That's why I voted for him. Plus, I feel like our country is way safer right now than we have been. So another thing I wanted to cover is, I feel like a lot of people think that because Christians are, we are against abortion, gay marriage, LGBT lifestyle, all that stuff, that we just hate those people. That we hate the LGBT people, that we hate women who choose to go in and have an abortion at Planned Parenthood. No, we don't. I mean, at least, I don't. I don't feel like, and I feel like a lot of other Christians, they don't either. The reason why I feel, first off, I don't believe in it because God says it's wrong. And God does not hate those people that do that. He hates what they do, the sin. He doesn't hate you because you went and did that. It makes him sad that it was done, but he does not hate you. So, but I do not believe in gay marriage or the LGBT lifestyle, because when God created man, he created Adam and he created Eve. And I feel like if he wanted there to be LGBT, like 2 genders, being together, he would have made 2 males and he would have made 2 females. Which he did not. So that's why I believe in the concept of just there's only two genders. Now, I don't hate those people. I hate the lifestyle. So, and I believe there are good people in that group. I do. I just don't believe in the lifestyle. That's all. So that's another, I feel like, misconception of some Trump supporters and in general, because a lot of Trump supporters are Christian and do not believe in LGBT and abortion. I'm trying to keep this from being all about religion right now because that's my other channel. I'm going to go on my other channel and talk about kind of the same thing and some, more, a little bit better. But that's why I believe that. Now, when it comes to, and a lot of people believe that every single Trump supporter supports the police. 100% backs the police. Now, a lot of them do. That's okay. I used to be 110% behind the police. I don't not support the police, but I have seen, unfortunately, the other side of it. And I have seen how they can be. I have seen how the court system can be. And oh, yeah, it's really messed up. There are a lot of bad police out there, and I believe it needs to be vetted more. So I'm not 100% in favor of the police anymore. I feel like a lot of them go on a power trip, and their egos become bigger than the common sense they have. But I can't get behind the movement of defund the police either. Because if we defunded the police, how are we going to control crime? What would we do? So that's why I cannot get behind the defund the police movement. And again, I don't fully support, like I did, the police. I just can't. Because I've seen the other side, unfortunately. I've seen how they can twist your words and look at your record and say, oh, your record's clean. Oh, let's give you a record. Unfortunately, that happened to me. I'm not proud of it, but they would not, it seemed like they did not care about facts. They convicted, you know how they convicted me? Pictures. 3 pictures. That's it. And they convicted me off of pictures. That is pathetic, if you ask me. So, that's the justice system for you, or I call it the unjust justice system now. Once again, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not 100% behind the police anymore. So, it was actually because of the courts that I was homeless. They kicked me out of my home knowing I had nowhere to go. And they didn't care. They did not care one bit that I was going to be living in my car. They could care less. So that's what they did. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I couldn't have made, a better choice, but I chose not to. I don't even know. I don't really want to put out there what happened. I did not go seek medical advice because when I looked at what had happened, I knew I could take care of it at home. And I did that. So that's why I did not go to a medical building. Not because I didn't care, but because I knew that that could be taken care at home. That could have been taken care of at home. That's the reason I did not go to a medical building after what happened. And I will probably make another video on my other channel on what happened. So, and I might come in here and make a video on that too and explain a little bit. But I don't want people looking at me like, some kind of monster. But, so again, I don't support the police nowhere near like what I used to. I've actually been wrongfully arrested twice by 2 different cops in the state of Virginia. One of the cops that wrongfully arrested me claimed I was on drugs because I have a lazy eye. She said I was on drugs. I've never done drugs a day in my life. I do not drink alcohol and drive. The worst I've done is smoke a cigarette. But yet she wanted to accuse me of drugs. So now, even though I don't do drugs, that's on my record, unfortunately, because of her bad policing and lack of common sense, because she wanted to get a notch under her belt. She needed to get her cherry popped. So, police wrongfully arrest people all the time. They screw up all the time. And I believe it's messed up. It is screwed up how they could just go and do what the heck they want to do and nothing applies to them. And they could mess people's lives up. That's not right. That's not right at all. A lot of these cops need to be fired. And we need better police in there. A lot of these judges need to be fired too, but we need better judges. The whole system is messed up. Totally messed up. And it's not right how they treat people. They can just give somebody a record and ruin their entire life off of little to no evidence, which is what they did to me. They screwed my life up with little to no evidence. So, yeah, I cannot, and I do not 100% get behind the police anymore. I don't at all. I can't stand how they treat people and how they can do whatever they want to do and they don't get in trouble. I can't stand that. So, that's my stance on that. And I'm a Trump supporter. Once again, proving to you that not all Trump supporters 100% support the police. Not all Trump supporters 100% agree with everything President Trump has said or done. So, you know, that's just facts. So yes, again, I'm going to make another video on my other channel about why I believe the way why I feel the way I feel, or believe the way I believe. This just wasn't the channel for that. So, but yeah, that's what I wanted to come on here and say. So, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope your afternoon goes well, and I will talk to you on the next video. God bless you. God bless President Trump and the United States of America. God bless all of our service members. Have a great day. Goodbye.